Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Musical Moments with Marta, and this is my series called Musical Solutions, where I discuss in depth different works of music. So in this particular video, I will be continuing talking about the Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto. This is the first movement, Allegro moderato, and the edition I'm using is David Oistrakh edition, which is the international music company edition from New York. So in the last video, I talked about most of the exposition. We stopped at letter D. So if you need the score, I will leave the score below this video, and you can connect with that. So we're now at letter D, and we're going to go to the end of the exposition in this video. So please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you find this information and these classes helpful. And let's get to it. So this is letter D, and we have now, we just finished the scales, the chromatic scales, and letter D is... So we have these little kind of, what do you call them? It's like a section that is connecting the second theme to the coda, kind of a coda of this exposition. So letter D has like little tremolo, almost like double notes, based on some chords. So we have for an F major here. So just make sure that this section is not too fast. I have some comments here actually from Henrik Schering that say, do not rush. I must have rushed when I was much younger, when I played for him back at Peabody Conservatory. So just make sure that the notes are clear. So I would practice it just single notes. So I shift up to third position here. Then fifth position, first finger. Seventh position, right? And I have an open E here. Then we go to E major arpeggio. The awareness of harmonies is very important in any work that you, in any piece that you play. But whenever you have something of this sort, like it's almost like an accompanying line, because the orchestra is playing the theme here, the second theme. So, so this is one after D. First finger, another first finger, the fifth position here. And here I extend 1, 2, 4. So we have the same it's very similar to the section at the beginning of exposition at letter B. We have these big jumps, so with an open string. That can be a little hard because it's a big reach back. So make sure that you stretch your hand back. Don't shift, just extend. So we have A, D, A, C. Here you have to shift. And then D minor. I'm a little sharp here. Same thing. Then we have another accompanying line with some double stops. So here we have string crossings. Make sure you utilize your wrist and your forearm. I think of it as really two double stops. It's written as a single G sharp, and then F and B is a double stop. But it's really not realistic to be playing it like that. So I think of it as two double stops. So bottom S. Find that pivot note, the E, because we're going 5 positions up. And here we have that another section, which is the most virtuosic. It's like a coda, really, of the exposition. So we have some tricky things here, lots of extensions. I play 2, 4, and then 4, 2, 4, and then 3. So you have to really have a good ear in this section and play this possibly on the keyboard and listen to recordings, of course, but really practice intonation, train your ear, because here we have a lot of extensions, so it's not all in one position. Intonation is very difficult here. This is all in one position, but then here you have to extend, and then we're back to 5th position. Back. So all of this is détaché. It's marked in my part détaché, actually marked by Oistrakh. And then the next, when it repeats, it's going to be spiccato. So we play this more on the string. So we have diminished chords here. That's diminished. Another diminished. So I go 3, 3, 1, 3, 4, 2, 2, 4, 2, 4. Again, listen to the chord. You can practice it as double stops. Then you have to shift down to 3rd position. And here, of course, having that open E, I have to make sure that the B, G sharp, E is in tune. Then we do the same thing, spiccato. Oh boy. So practice it slowly and then slowly speed up. Start, of course, practicing on the string and then the spiccato. Make sure it's kind of brushy, right? Then we're on page 8 in this edition, which is the international edition, edited by David Oistrakh. So on page 8 of the violin part. And then Oistrakh has his own, oh no, it's our Leopold Auer version that is added here in the 2nd staff. So I will attach this below this video so you can see what I mean. I choose to do the top line, so it's the original with double stops. So now this is marked poco più lento, because now it gets a little crazy. We have all these double stops, so I won't go through all the chords, but you should be aware of what harmonies these are. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 triplets at a time at the beginning that are have patterns. So it's repeated 4 triplets, and then 4 triplets are repeated, the same harmonies, and then it changes. So like in the first measure, actually the theme starts on the 2nd 8th note. So that's why it starts on an oboe here. And slowly, it's harder actually to play it slowly because you really hear the intonation. So we have these chords that are broken. So I practice both again on both are double stops. You can practice separate, but that's not really practicing, right? Intonation. So you practice the top 2 and the bottom 2. And all three create a chord. So for example, the first chord is F sharp major, which then resolves to B major. But what's difficult is that your hand has to be pretty firm to play the chords, but also light enough that you can shift a lot. There's a lot of shifting going on in between. Shift here, and then again, and again. Then we shift to a different chord, and then same one. So then it goes up. Now it changes more often. It's like a stretto. Stretto is when things get compacted and happen more frequently. So in this case, this is the second line on page 8. New chord, another chord. And we arrive at D major. So I would practice these slowly, obviously, and with nice tone quality. Make them beautiful, you know. Lots of pitch to practice here. Prepare. Prepare the next one. So you have to be aware of where the minor sixth is, which is like a half step between the two fingers, so it's the narrow one, or the whole step, which is the major sixth. So chords, when you look on the piano, for example, the chords, these chords are in inversions, so they are stretched out so that we can play them across strings. The original form of the chord would be like a triad, so we would have, let's say if it's C sharp minor, it would be C sharp, when you look on the keyboard, C sharp, E, which is a third, a minor third, C sharp, E, and then G sharp, which is a major third. So it would be much more compact on the piano. On the violin, we can't exactly play it as well that way, so we change the bottom notes. So in this case, instead of C sharp on the bottom, it is G sharp on the bottom. So it's G sharp, E, C sharp. So it helps us cross the strings. It's just the way the violin works. So when we get to the third line, let's see. So here's the arrival point. Sorry. So again, top has a sixth, then a fifth. Then we have an arpeggio, D major arpeggio. Then it repeats. So this technique here, you have to be very flexible, but firm at the same time, but flexible in the elbow. The wrist doesn't move, in my case, too much, but you have to, it has to be flexible when you need to move it. Then it's D minor. Now I change this and I go down from A, F, D, A, F, D. So I go down so I can then continue the lower stuff. When you look at this edition, you'll see that Leopold Auer created two staffs, the upper one, which is original, and the lower one, which is his version. So I am now in the fourth line on page 8, I am now switching from the upper staff to the lower staff. And I created, I think I got it from one of my teachers probably. So this is the fourth line. Instead of going back up with the arpeggio, I'm going to go back down. And then from harmonic A, same D minor chord, but now I'm in the lower staff. So this is now F major. Then we have to shift. So again, practice it like double stops. A flat major. B major at the end here. And then we arrive at letter E. A. I'm a little clumsy right now, but I have to trill very, very high there and lots of jumping. So, of course, it's an open A. It's an, not open A, it's an A. So we can hear the pitch. But the other thing is to make sure that you're comfortable holding your violin so you can shift all these octaves. So I would practice it without the trill first. First, second finger. Again, prepare. Go down, up to the E string. Then you can add the trill. So the first trill is on the B flat. B flat. Then B natural. Prepare. So make sure you prepare each one of these before you start playing too fast. And then we have the final flashy section here, which are arpeggios back and forth on the G and D string. And this begins on the G and D string. It's all diminished chords. So minor thirds, but they've been twisted around in different octaves. So they're not always thirds, but it's a diminished arpeggio. Listen to the bottom voice. So you have this, you have B sharp, A, B sharp, B sharp, F sharp, A, F sharp, A, B sharp. So the arpeggio, the notes are B sharp, A, B sharp, F sharp, A, F sharp. So it's really like F sharp, A, B sharp, which is really C natural, right? So, but they're all the same notes, back and forth, repeating in different inversions. F sharp. And then finally the arpeggio is a little bit more together.